So everybody, this is Gavin Talks Pistons, back again with another video. And this video is going to be centered around, is Cade Cunningham the best point guard in the league? So, I know that's like a crazy thing to say, like this is his breakout year or whatever. I think he definitely makes a great case for it, so let's take a look into the numbers and see why I think he actually could be. So this season, Cade is averaging 25.4 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 9.4 assists on the 6th seed in the East. First player we're going to be looking at as a comparison is Trae Young. Trae Young averaging less points at 23.7, less rebounds at 3.2, and more assists on 11.5. Trae Young's usage rate is 29.2. Cade's is higher, but Cade is still averaging 3 more rebounds, 2 more points on better shooting. Trae Young is supposed to be this great shooter. He's shooting 33.6% from 3. Cade isn't supposed to be this great shooter. He's shooting 35%, and he's also shooting 45.5% from the field. Trae's only averaging 40.7% from the field. Also, Trae Young's team isn't a playoff team. Cade Cunningham's team is a playoff team, and that's mostly thanks to Cade Cunningham for what he was able to do for this team. And, all right, first comparison, Cade or Trae, I'm taking Cade. It's just because of what Cade does for his team. He does more for his team than what Trae does for his team, and just the numbers. The numbers are better. Second player we're looking at is Tyrese Halliburton. So, Tyrese Halliburton, he is averaging, 17.8 points, 3.6 rebounds, and 8.5 assists. Cade is obviously better, numbers-wise. Tyrese is a little bit more efficient, so we'll give him that. But, numbers-wise, Cade is way better, but also Halliburton's usage rate is 10% less than Cade, so it kind of makes sense, but Halliburton has not been good this season. Not at all has he been good this season. He's had some good games, but he has just not been good. He, obviously his team is higher in the standings, but it's also because they have a better team. They have better players. They have better role players than the Pistons. And I think Cade is more valuable to the Pistons than Tyrese is to the Pacers. Even just from some Pistons games this year, what's his name? TJ McConnell has looked like a better guard than Tyrese Halliburton. I think the Pacers obviously wouldn't be as good without Tyrese, but think about the Pistons without Cade. I just think that's a huge difference. Cade brings more to the table than Tyrese can. Cade is a better defender than Tyrese, and he's a better defender than Trae. I forgot to mention that. This is Cade's best defensive season. He's not supposed to be this defensive guard, but he flashes a good defense. Tyrese doesn't. Trae doesn't. Trae is one of the worst defensive players in the league. And Cade isn't a horrible defensive guard. He's not supposed to be a defensive guard. So, looking at the numbers, the Pacers, I don't know if I mentioned this, but they are higher in the seeding than us. But that's also because we got off to a slow start. And, yeah, I think Cade is better than Trae and Tyrese. Now, this is going to be controversial. I don't think it should be controversial. I think Cade is better than LaMelo. I don't think it should be close. So, LaMelo is averaging 27 points, but LaMelo's usage rate is 37.3. Cade's is 5% lower, and he's only averaging 2 less points while averaging 1 more rebound and 2 more assists. Also, LaMelo is, he's fun to watch. Him and Anthony Edwards are so fun to watch, but man, they are not efficient at all. I saw the other day Anthony Edwards was like 10 for 33 or something. LaMelo shooting 33.8% on threes. I think he shoots like 10 a game or something. That you can't tell me he is better than Cade. People were saying he should have been an all-star starter. He should have been an all-star whatever. I think he could have been an all-star over like Trey, but really he is not better than Cade. So LaMelo 41.6% from the field, 33.8 from three. Cade 45.5 and 35.1 from three. And the Hornets are one of the worst teams in the East. They're one of the worst teams in the league. Pistons aren't, and that's because of Cade. I know I'm just saying this, but I don't think, okay. The thing is, if you take LaMelo away from the Hornets, they're already going to be bad because they already are bad. So that's not really an argument. But the Pistons are good, and that's because of Cade Cunningham. Without Cade Cunningham, the Pistons are not as good as they are. And that's why I think Cade is better than LaMelo. Next person, Jalen Brunson. These next two, the last two I'm going to get into, these are kind of different just because they're on way better teams. There's more options to go around. So their usage rate isn't as high. I mean, it's still not that much lower. But neither of these guys are the number one option on their team. So this is going to be controversial. First person, we got Jalen Brunson. Brunson averaging 26.1 points, 3 rebounds, 7.5 assists. Cade, 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. Brunson also way more efficient. I think Brunson is a better player just because one of my big arguments today has been you take away one from each team, who's going to be as good? The Knicks are still going to be good, but they're not going to have a point guard, so they wouldn't be that good. Pistons would not be good at all. But I think Brunson brings a lot to the table. He's an okay defender. Cade's a better defender, but Brunson is just more efficient and lower usage rate. He's averaging similar numbers. So I would give this one to Brunson, even as a Pistons fan. I still think Brunson is better. Also, I forgot to say this. Brunson's usage rate is 29.3%. Cade, obviously, 32.6%. I'm going to say Brunson is better than Cade. That's just my opinion, though. Last player we're looking at today, Darius Garland. So, Garland, his usage rate, 27.8%. We obviously know Cade is 32.6%. But when you look at Garland, 21.6 points, 2.5 rebounds, 7 assists. But he's way more efficient from three. He's shooting 43% from three and 50% from the field. He's almost having a 50-40-90 season. And obviously the Cavs are the best team in the East. I'd like to say if you put Garland on the Pistons, you put Cade on the Cavs. So you just switch situations. I think Cade is better. Even if they have the same usage rate, I still think Cade would be better. That might be a hot take. I think if you put Cade, you could put Cade on a bunch of different teams, and he would be the best point guard in the league, not even a debate. If you put Cade on, let's say, this is tough. If you put him on the Rockets, I think they would be one of the best teams in the league. And I think he would be the best point guard in the league because of his playmaking, his scoring. He's so versatile now. He's one of the best 3-level scorers in the league. I think he's the best point guard in the league. One of them. But Garland, he's averaging less points, rebounds, and assists. A little bit more efficient. I'm taking Cade here. I don't really think it's close either. But yeah, that's it for me. If you guys have any video ideas Any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. On Friday, the game recap will be coming a little bit late because watching the Michigan State game. So expect that maybe on Saturday. But that's it from me. Have a great night.